If you're thinking of purchasing a home, here are some tips that can save you time and money. Number 1. Get pre-approved.
Any professional real estate agent nowadays won't take a buyer out unless they're pre-approved. Pre-approval means that you've spoken to a loan officer and they have generally run a credit report. They've talked to you in some detail and found out how much you can afford to pay for a house, because you want to look at what you can afford to pay. It's nothing worse than going out looking at something and you love the property but you can't afford it. So in order to alleviate that problem right up front, we get pre-approved.
And it's wise not to purchase a home that is at the very top of your approval amount. Steve explains why.
I generally tell people when they look to purchase a home, pay a little bit less for the house than you can ultimately afford, because you always want to have a little bit in reserve. You're going to have to go into your house and there may be some repairs you might have to make. You might have to buy some extra furniture. You want to make sure that when you move in that you're not cash strapped. It's always good to have a rainy day fund.
Having the home inspected is too important not to do.
It's foolish not to have a home inspected. You want to make sure that you get a professional who does it for a living inspect your house and find out whether it's a good investment or a bad investment right up front. Remember, you can back out of a transaction because you're going to be in an option period when you make an offer on a house. If you don't have an inspection and you end up stuck with the house after closing, it could be a bottomless pit.
If you think you found the house of your dreams, it's a good idea to get a feel for the neighborhood.
I would definitely go in the morning, drive by in the morning, and more importantly, go at night. Go and look at a house and a neighborhood at night, because it's a different atmosphere at night than it is during the day. If you're comfortable, if you see people walking or jogging, then you know it's probably a fairly safe neighborhood. If you feel uncomfortable in the evening when you go there, then it's probably an area that you want to reconsider and may perhaps not go and buy a house in that neighborhood.
And the most important thing you should do is hire a professional real estate agent.
It's important to have a professional real estate agent when you buy a house. There are too many details involved in purchasing a home for you to try to do it yourself unless you are used to buying and selling real estate. The general public is not used to doing that. They're not used to negotiating. You want somebody who represents you and yet also treats it as a business, because when you're negotiating, you want to take the emotional factor out of the negotiation and you want to try to get the best deal you can for yourself, but you also have to realize that both sides have to win. So you want to take the small details out. If there's a refrigerator that you wanted and they decide they want to take it, or they've already promised to their uncle or their brother-in-law a pool table, a television, don't let that be a deal breaker. Look beyond that. If it's the perfect house in a great neighborhood with wonderful schools, move beyond that, and you can get those items later on. Don't let that be a deal killer. If you're looking to buy or sell real estate, I've been fortunate to help hundreds of people over the years. I'd love to help you too. Thank you.
If you need advice or assistance with selling, buying, or investing in real estate, call Steve Tower.